it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
TaNK9 Code checking in, TaNK9 Code checking in. Greetings, certified coders. Shouts out to you. Who are my coders? All those application developers who spend most of their life building apps, working on the computer, always applying energy, always seeding. Because what is seed? Seed is like to go outside and plant. Seeding is also a phrase for when you're coding and you're typing. You see, I've been typing coding my whole life. I'm a certified application developer. What makes me certified? The fact that I've already sold a social network before, aka I sold a business early in my 20s. I've done corporate America for quite some time, right? I have my own independent consulting business, and I'm right here in a spaceship that I bought, aka RV, that I paid for with my professional application development. No, I'm not in some high rise. No, I'm not in some overpriced, zealous place where, I'm being, taken advantage of due to high rent. I'm in my own spaceship, right, aka RV, where I'm fully locked in, developing, working on the framework for being able to deploy my future applications, which are the boss app systems, to customers all over the planet. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what we are doing. So right now, I got to bring people up to speed because I'll be out there talking to people about what I do, my capabilities, and they seem kind of behind. So first, I got to bring up my circle of people, friends that I know of, and bring them up to speed to where I'm at in regards to the building applications. So let's get right to it. I just want to jump right into it. So we're going to be talking today. We're going to be reading from the TaNK9 Code. Then my 6th ebook that I wrote is the TaNK9 Code tool book. It's the Tank tools. These are popular tools that I've created over the years that make me build apps fast. I've used these tools. These tools have gotten me high-paying jobs. I've been able to deploy professional applications. I've had healthcare companies sold for millions of dollars with the tools that I've created. Right, so this is what I'm capable of doing. This is what I've already done. This is facts. So let's get into it. So we're going to talk about today is the terminal window. The terminal window is a window that you utilize within Linux. You see, so the terminal window, you're talking directly to the computer. Terminal window, aka the bash, aka, that's another phrase for it. It's the bash. It's the heart. The terminal window. When I use the terminal window, it's like I'm speaking directly to the computer. When you're utilizing Windows machine, let's distinguish the two first. So you have, what's the two popular ones? You have Windows and you have Linux, right? The more popular one that's been shoved down the planet throat from the last 30 years is Windows, right? They use monopolistic practices to put that freaking operating system on everybody's desk. Facts. That software is everywhere, and that was designed, that was manufactured, that was, what they call, debowing the game, aka, just taking advantage, right? Aka, just fully, I want to say other phrases, but I want to get my, my video flag, right? But we all know of Microsoft, but they may enforce us, the world, to use Windows, but that's one development platform. When you're using Linux, it's a different tool set. It's an operating system for developers that utilize, to build apps with too. But we've been taught Windows over the years. That's one system that we've used a long time, but there's another system called Linux. So we're going to talk about Linux on this side of things. So you learn Linux, the Windows stuff come easy. But what's great, if you already know Windows, you've done that, you kind of outgrown yourself with it, right? You kind of know in and out of Windows, how it works, how it operates, great. You should migrate over to learn Linux. So within Linux, they have this thing within Linux it's called the bash, or the terminal window, or the it's the prompt. And you talking directly to the computer, and you're typing commands directly to the heart of the computer. So things are happening fast. And what's great about that, when you're talking directly to the computer, you're talking to the heart. You're typing, boom, boom, boom. You're telling the computer to do commands. Open a window. Close a folder. Right. Connect to this, system. If I can share a quick story, the reason why I got into Linux was I met a senior developer. I was at a job working in Atlanta, right? And I did something stupid because the previous job I was at was American Cancer Society. I was making like, $40 an hour, early 20s, late 20s there. And I was American Cancer Society, but I know American Cancer Society was American Cancer Society. I should have stayed there and just rolled that out, for like, 5 years. But no, I'm young. I want to, jump around. So another developer came there. He was like, man, you should come over here with me to this other company. So I went to the other company with him. Now, at the other company, it was more like, it was a startup. So it was a financial startup there. They did debt collections. So they called people, wanting to collect debt and everything, So hold on, my dogs are making noise. Chill out. So they did debt collection. So they reached out to debt and they got money from debt collectors. That's what they did. So it was more of a startup. So there, it was a developer there, but they had a Unix-based system. So with the Unix is built on like Unix. It's like really 3 operating systems. It's Windows, it's Linux, and it's Unix. Right? Unix is like it's the heart of both of Linux and Windows. It's just the root of both of them. So Unix is like you can put systems on top of Unix to run. Like it's a server system, and you can put applications on top of Unix, and it can operate and it can go. Boom. So he was a Unix guy, but he was only talking to the command line the whole time. Now, he was directly talking to the command line, and that's what he was doing. So my dog's in here just weepering. I don't know what's going on. What's the problem? Everybody chill. So, all right, so he was talking with Unix directly to the computer, hitting the computer hard, and just being able to do, I'm like, man, okay, why are you using the command prompt? Like, why you don't use Windows? Why you don't use a mouse? I'm like, man, dude, have you heard of Windows? You should use Windows. But he didn't want to use Windows. He liked Linux. I know he was using Unix. He was like, man, that's for rookies, man. He was like, Windows for rookies. I don't want to use that. I'm talking directly to the heart of the, of the system. I'm like, what? But he said, look, this is what I'm capable of. He said that this is what he did. He said, right now from this computer, I can log into my home computer. I can, I can play a song and copy a song onto a CD. I was like, man, you can't do that from here. Man, he said, he had some commands. He showed me that he played the song. I was like, whoa. He was able to tap into his home computer from the work computer. From the command line, he just typed a few keys. I said, oh, that's next level. So then I immediately adjusted my mindset, my frame, my whole point of view of developing to, learning, Linux. So I kind of merged over and started learning the Linux world. So it was different. I liked it. So, but within the command prompt, they call it a terminal. So you can talk to the computer directly. We on page 9 of the, the TaNK9 Code, Tank Tools book. You can, follow along with me, right? But the terminal window is like a powerful window. So they got like maybe 1,000+ commands. You can just tell the computer what you need to do. You can pull down, you can pull down libraries. You can upload libraries, like you can upgrade your computer. You're on your computer with Windows, you want to upgrade your computer, that blue screen of death, right? Where you waiting on your computer to upgrade, it's like upgrading. With Linux, it's a few lines of type, and it's like a lot quicker, and to update your whole machine a lot faster. So it's all through the keys, it's just quicker. And you just learn those tools to be able to do what you need to do. So that's where we're at, and that's where we're going. So this is the terminal window. Right, it's like it was made maybe back in the 70s. I'm sure, like Bell Labs, which was a lot of these tools people don't realize were created by like professional corporations. They weren't made at people but at home. These tools like Linux, Windows, they have a lot of funding, a lot of developers. I mean, like Windows, it's probably like thousands of developers who worked on it before, right? And then you're talking about Windows, you're talking about it's all the same source code from many years back. Because you can reverse Windows. You got Windows X, you got Windows 95, Windows 97, or whatever, Windows XP, you know, then Windows Vista, I think it's Windows 7. You know, I don't use Windows. The only time I use Windows is in the corporate environments, right? So those are those systems, right? And you know, I kind of mastered those. I've been there and did that. You know, I remember I download a lot of software. I don't hack. I've never been a hacker because that's unethical. That's like stealing, and it's like this is a matrix, people. And I'm TaNK, right? You know, it's a whole matrix, and they can just trace you back. You know, they can trace it down to the computer you're on, the keyboard you use, right? It's all this stuff is, you know, hardwired. But what's powerful about a computer is that it's a tool, and it's built made of diamonds and the gold. So people that like computers, like you dealing with gold and diamonds, and it's like the baddest machine on the planet, and you dealing with it on a day to day, and use a keyboard and do what you need to do. You know, so so with the terminal, you want to really get familiar with, because you know when I first cut my computer, I go straight to the terminal. You know, I go in there, I can, you know, connect to my servers, see what my apps are doing. My terminal window, you know, it got you know, my own commands. And what's cool, you can type out commands. You know, I'm typing out commands. I'm typing out, you know, what I want the computer to do. Boom. So you typing it like open folder, close folder, you know, download file, upload file. So you can type that. But what's cool with the terminal, you need to write that into a script. So where a script, you can automate that stuff. So you can have it do 4 things, but you can put that into a file, and you can call that file or say open this file or run that script, and they'll run those 4 things on that file that you say. So you can say open folder, close folder, download, you know, file, go to website, like those 4 things, right? You can type those things out to the terminal, or you can have a folder. You can call a file to do that. So you call open file and run this script, and it'll do those 4 things for you. And you can automate it, do it even like you can do it over and over again. You can do it on other machines, and you can say, hey, you can duplicate it, so you can write all through scripts. So that's what's powerful, what's great with utilizing Linux and the terminal window. You know, I really want to emphasize the terminal window because as a developer, you really spend a lot of your time there. You know, because there's different types of developers. You know, you got front-end developers who deal with the UI elements, the layout things. Then you got server developers, right? We dealing with, you know, the server itself, you know, the code behind, you know, the business logic, what happens on the machine. So when you're utilizing the terminal in Linux, you doing both. And you can use the terminal to do all your development, right? Like I don't use Notepad, I don't use IDEs, right? You know, in .NET and Windows, you have Visual Studios. You know, and that's really popular, the Visual Studio system. You know, that's like Visual. Okay, let me go with Visual Studios is a Windows tool set to make Windows type applications. It's called Visual Studios. Boom, it's extremely popular. It's heavily used in the corporate world for like, man, a long time now, 30 years now. It's called Visual Studio. It's only probably come on a lot of Windows machines now, right? But it's called an integrated developer environment, aka IDE, right? So you have IDE, integrated developer network, integrated developer environment, IDE, integrated developer environment. So that's Visual Studios. With the Visual Studios, you use the studio itself to make your applications, right? Your websites, your mobile apps, your Windows desktop apps. You do all that through Visual Studios, right? My preference, what I like how I build apps is I don't use none of that. I use a command line to do everything, right? Like to do all my work, all my development, all my code is done in the terminal, and that's possible, right? You know, you can do all your code using, you know, the terminal window. But you know, using a Linux machine, you're not really making it for Windows. Well, you are and can. But a lot of times I'm doing like either websites or mobile apps, which can be deployed on Android and iOS. So the Windows will really come into play. So I really don't even need to touch the Windows. I'm making stuff for websites, which is on the web. You can look at a website on the device, you know, on the computer. You can go to the websites and do it there, right? So I'm really focusing on, you know, doing like websites, mobile apps, and that can be in a Linux environment. I can do the same thing in Windows if I wanted, but I prefer the Linux, and that's the reason why I prefer the Windows, because I stay in the terminal. Then like 90% of my time I'm in the terminal, and then you can do things within the terminal to speed up your development, because it's like right there and everything is command. It's like you can type it out. What I want to do, I can type, and I highly recommend as a developer learn how to code, type. You gotta know how to type it out, type that thing out, you know. So, you know, we on page 9 of the Terminal Tools Windows within the TaNK9 Code ebook, right? We in the spaceship right now, you know, RV, my dogs over here, you know, I got my dogs with me, they keep me company. I got my whole system in here set up. I got a new monitor, it's like a 30-inch. I got like 2 big monitors now, So I'm here in the environment, we're going over TaNK tools, and I'm really emphasizing TaNK tools are the more popular development tools, you know, to keep you going as a developer. Boom. So I want to really focus on the terminal window. So within the terminal window too, you can find out information, right? You can look, you can download a file on another machine. You can see how much space you got on your computer. You can see how much space is on the server, right? You can log into another server and see the files on that server through your terminal, right? You know, in the Matrix, they had a little green screen. You ever see coders or, you know, what they call hackers typing, and it'd be like that green screen. That's the terminal. That's the heart of the computer. You're talking directly to the computer. You know, you even have your browser in there, because really, what's really a browser, right? Like you go to we use Chrome and we use Firefox, right? Those are the two popular browsers to browse websites. But within Linux, within the terminal, you can use that as a browser too. I just want to see the information. I don't care about how the pictures, it looks, and how it is. I don't care about that. I just want to see the information. And that's what's an issue with Windows, is that it's too visual, right? You know, Chrome and Edge, those things require a lot of energy and to get going and activate. So it slows your whole machine down. But Linux is it's fast. You know, I go fast. I'm I'm not all the way human. I don't know how that came out just now, but you know, I'm not as human as others. I'm kind of more alien or spiritual in a sense. This is the truth. So I'm thinking really fast, and I have difficulties in building relationships because a lot of I type and I be on the computer, so I expect immediate responses when things transpire. And when it's not, it's awkward to me because I used to going real fast. So my relationships is very awkward. And then I'm a Virgo, it makes me more awkward, more perfectionist. You know, so I like things like the terminal window. You know, what else I like about the terminal window? So, you know, one other thing I like is that I can deploy my files. You know, so we all remember FTP. You know, we used to use FTP to move your files. You might got a GoDaddy website. You know, I want to move my files over to my GoDaddy. With the terminal, you can just deploy your files from the terminal. You can say rsync, deploy to this IP address, boom, and it'll send all your files over to that server right away. You can see all the files move, and you're there. I can then log into my server the next line and say, hey, what's going on the server? Any server all over the world. I have servers in, you have a server in New York, California, London, Japan, Australia. If you got a hosting company, you can connect to these servers through the command line instantly. And that's all through the command line. And you really want to master that, using the command line. I got to really hit this and go overemphasize it, because it's really the more popular tool that you really be in as a developer to get stuff done. Right? Then it's what's cool, you can then automate your terminal to do things. You say, hey, run these scripts, run these files, do these things, and they can automate. Then you can have reporting on what the automation was, and all this through the terminal. The terminal is bad. I like it. And then look, guess what the symbol for terminal is? The terminal, the primary symbol. People don't be that's what they keep coding from us. But on the terminal window, the main symbol is the $, the money symbol. In the terminal, in the window, in the heart of the computer, the $. People can say it's mark of the beast, whatever. But you utilize these tools as resources to be able to do what you need to do. To navigate yourself in this terrain called this human experience, in this earth, in this abode that we're in, this, what we're seeing and we're perceiving as life at this moment, in this day and age. Right, so a computer can be utilized as a tool for you to do those things. So we all love money, right? Money make the world go round. We spend it every day. It's a part of us. And then within the terminal itself, the primary symbol is a $. So I log in. I be talking directly to the money, consistently, right? So that's the terminal. We're on page 9 of the TaNK9 Code ebook. And we're going over the terminal window. And, let me see what else I can think of in the terminal window while I'm here. You can do a lot of good things, but let me see what else that I like. I'm in my terminal. Yep. So what's popular? Another reason, okay, you probably thinking okay, how does he do his development in terminal? How can he do what he needs to do? There's a program called Vim, or VI, right? And it's a text editor. And when you're a coder, you got to become familiar with text editors. You got to, familiarize yourself with different text editors and know how to utilize those so you can A text editor is like Notepad. You know, Sublime is another popular one. But we all know Notepad because you have a Windows computer. It comes with Notepad. You can open up Note, and I do jot a little note down. So that same thing in like, but you use that Notepad. It can be a file for a source code for an application, and you can use that to do what you need to do. So Vim is like a note. Is a text editor, and it works within the command line, and it's a beast. So I can jump around. I can copy. Copy. Code. I can say if you like writing a paper, you can copy a bunch of lines and duplicate those lines real quick. You can delete. It's like you're not using the keyboard or the mouse. Also a keyboard. So you jumping through files and through different folders on your system, not even having to touch the mouse. The thing as a coder, you're doing a lot of typing, so you hear it. You're in the zone. It's like riding a pilot, like you're piloting the ship. You like right here. When you get the mouse, you gotta lift your hand up. That's like work. And this has become a very, people don't want to work no more. They just want to sit and have things happen. So the computer is the best type of work to do because you're just on the computer doing this, right? And then you move your mouse. But I don't like touching the mouse. A lot of times I don't like using the mouse. So with the terminal, you can do everything you need to do without using the mouse. But you can't use the mouse within the terminal. But why would you want to do that, right? It's like even reasons times when I get locked out my computer and I go in through the terminal to get myself back going. Right, like within Linux, there's like a visual part of Linux too, where you can like use a mouse and navigate using. You can go use Firefox, you can use Chrome and stuff like that within Linux, right? But if you get kicked out of that, I can log into my Linux environment or terminal and be able to fix my visual stuff. So that's what's the great thing about the terminal, right? But we're gonna sign out now. We're gonna do these videos more often, get this energy out of what TaNK9 Code has to offer as a professional application developer, because we're good, and we gotta bring each other up to speed where we're at, so all others can develop apps from the same frequency and the same rate. I can do stuff fast. I plan we're gonna do more, right? But I'm just getting the presentation, getting the the foundation there together. But we're gonna be like be talking to my my clients, other developers, our business partners, people who got use a lot of app and boss app system. We're gonna be interviewing them. Other people on the street about, how they like application development, where they're going with it, what they want to do. So just stay tuned for more with TaNK9 Code. I'm here to be your coach, your mentor, your motivator, keep you focused on what you need to be doing as a developer. Because to me, development is the best work in the world. It's just like, because I'm constantly in create mode. And as a person, you got to be in the state of creating. That's good for you. Always create. And coding, you just always creating right there. You just typing, making things happen. We're going to sign out now. Have a wonderful day. TaNK9 Code signing out.